Here.
Stady,
Here.
Ball. Here. Petrowski here. Walker.
Here.
Kalinowski.
Okay, on the meeting agenda for tonight, we have under communications and announcements, A, Charter Communications new channel addition, B, Charter Communications channel deletions, C, MRA spring summer program schedule, D, Manistee County MTA meeting schedule, E, Manistee County Planning Department 2016 building permit report, and addendum item F is Autumn Olive Management newspaper article. Under department and committee reports, item A is the Wade Trim monthly water report. B is the fire department report. C, the zoning administrator's report. D is the planning commission minutes. E is the board of review minutes. F, the PEG commission. And G is the DDA minutes. H, the sewer project. Under new business tonight, we have item A, opening of sealed brush collection bids. Item B is consideration of approval to advertise in the local newspaper for a May brush pickup schedule. C is consideration of approval of a bid from Mr. Natural for the Nelson Street office hardwood floors. D is consideration of approval of the Planning Commission's request for the Township Board to hire a sound study company recommended by Wade Trim to perform a baseline study at the TES plant. E is consideration of approval to make final payment to May Drywall for drywall work already performed at the Nelson Street office, and approval of the hiring of a replacement drywall company to finish the job. If there are any other additions to that, take those now, otherwise I'd entertain a motion for approval.
I so move.
Second.
Motion by Cruz, support by Ball, to approve the meeting agenda for tonight. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Under the consent agenda for tonight, we have item A, minutes of a special board meeting held March 16th, 2017. B is the financial report. C is approval of the township general fund expenditures, including the fire department, and those are checks numbered 34439 through 34515. Accounts payable total $31,039.54. Payroll totals $13,590.03 for a grand total of $44,629.57. Item D is approval of water department expenditure checks 2355 through 2359, which total $8,479.36. Item E is approval for board members to attend the Michigan Townships Association Manistee County Chapter annual dinner meeting in Bear Lake on May 24th, 2017 at a cost of $14 per person. Item F is the Manistee County Chapter of MTA renewal of Filer Township annual membership at a cost of $30. And item G to be added is approval for Manistee Lions Club to hold their annual White Cane Sale on May 12th, 2017 at various locations in Filer Township. Again, if there are no changes to the consent agenda, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
Motion by Ball, support by Cruz to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, public comment. Any public comment tonight? Okay. Moving on then with the department and committee reports. Oops. Yeah, I'm sorry. let's back up here, under, communications announcement, special presentation. We have the Postal Service here this evening for some information and presentation. So at this time, I will introduce Mr. V. Spikes. If you would like to step to the podium, and if there are others that you want to introduce and have speak, that's fine too.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Supervisor Walker and the council. I would like to, allow, the post office manager to begin the presentation and introduce us, and we'll take it from there.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing us to come in and speak to you today. Where you're going is we're looking for a new location to reestablish the Filer City Post Office. A lot of things are already in play to make this happen. Right now we're looking for just property to lease in order for us to place our building on. And that's what we're here to discuss and try to come up with a solution, something that we can all work on and just get public feedback and see where we can go from here. So right now I'll introduce V. Spikes. I'll let him run through what he has to say to you, ladies and gentlemen. And he said any feedback we can get would be really appreciated. Right now, just V. Spikes, and I'll just take from here.
Thank you. Mayor Walker, thank you for allowing us to fill in, because this wasn't initially a public meeting, as I had written, and it was published in the newspaper. So I appreciate you all allowing us, to take advantage of your time, to present this. On behalf of the United States Postal Service, my name is V. Spikes. I'm the real estate specialist, regional real estate specialist for the Great Lakes area, which includes the Filer City, location. We was given a notification to reestablish, according to our regulation 39 CFR 241.4, to relocate the Filer City Post Office from the Manatee location back to the Filer City. Now this will be only for the retail only location, and we are needing, the reason that I'm here is that we need land, to be able to, to establish a modular building, back, so that the post office can return back to Filer City. Now, the initial plan is to announce to the general public, which, the information has been sent out and advertised according to our regulations. And once, that has been done, I have passed out, Neil had passed out 2 documents, which I will leave here. One is for the announcement. And this announcement, in essence, give you all an overview of exactly what the post office intentions are. And, this has a 30-day, date to return any type of reply that the general public may have to my location and to me. Now, the 30 days is in essence starting from the date of the public, it's not a public meeting, but the date of the United States Post Office announcement to the council, that we are making changes and we are moving forward with establishing the Filer City location. The second page, which will be available, will also give you a little more in-depth detail about exactly what the reason, that the United States Post Office, want to return the post office to Filer City, and it identifies what the meeting is about, what the new location, why is the new location, what is, what will be the new post office, what will be the new location, what will be discussed at this meeting, which in essence, we are interested in identifying the post office, which is the Filer City. The reason for the acquisition, of land it would in essence be a ground lease, 10-year ground lease, for us to put a modular building. And it will be for retail only. And the area has not been identified, but it will be in the Fowler City, boundary. Let's see. Do we have any questions?
I've got a question, Mr. White. What do you mean, when you say retail only, what does that encompass?
Well, retail only, I'll let these gentlemen, speak on that behalf. I'm the real estate specialist.
Okay.
Retail only, it's all dependent, it's selling of the stamps, packaging products, mailing packages, those will all be able to be done in the building. There might be some PO boxes, but until we actually see the building and how large it is and what resources are there, I can't give you definitives on if there will be PO boxes there or, continuous street delivery and so on.
And do you have any idea of hours of operation yet?
It'll probably be the exact same hours of operations that we had before, 12 until 4 p.m.
Okay.
Yep, be the exact same as before, just a new location.
Okay.
So you're looking at how big a piece of real estate?
We're looking at least a half an acre.
Half acre, and you're gonna, or Postal Service is gonna buy the
Yes.
building and put it
In
on?
essence, what we're going to do is that we will, make the investment to buy the modular building. We'll also, make the investment to lay the foundation for the building, lay out the parking area and all of that. We'll maintain the ground lease. In essence, whoever we get the ground lease, hopefully we can get it with the city. We'll be responsible for grass cutting, snow removal, the maintenance of the building. So that would not be any responsibility to the landlord.
You talked about a modular building. What size will the modular building be?
We're looking at least 770 square feet.
Well, Terry, isn't there a lot of land in Fowler City that's empty? There's the box board where they tore that house down. There's a big piece
Yeah,
of
I don't know what's available right now. And I was just going to say, we've got, I see 3 either city residents.
Yeah, well, nobody knew about the meeting. How could they come? I only found out by accident.
Yeah. The information that you have, why don't you 3 make sure you get copies of it from these gentlemen and maybe get some extra copies to distribute to neighbors and whatnot. Have you given any consideration to, I don't know, as far as I know, the building that the post office was housed in before is still there, and I believe under the same ownership, and I believe the gentleman that owned that rented that to the post office for, I don't know how many years, at a price, I believe, of $200 a month. If that's available, would that not be a more economical option for you than purchasing property or leasing property and putting a foundation and a modular in and everything else?
Well, our planning department has analyzed and done a thorough due diligence analysis of the options. And right now, the option, is more beneficial to us, the United States Postal Service, from an investment standpoint, would be to establish a modular building. Now, we always, leave it open for an AQ, which is an alternate quarters, such as you have described. But, for this particular meeting, and the reason I'm here is to, identify land that, could be used for the modular.
Okay.
You mentioned you prefer land owned by the township.
Yes.
Do we own any land?
I'm not aware of any land that we own in Fowler City, no.
Okay.
No, not of that.
Well, then, if the
There's
township.
property owned by other entities.
Yes, and we are open, number one, the United States Postal Service, we would prefer dealing with the township. But if the township doesn't have any available property, then, certainly, we'll go to the citizen, make inquiry to the citizens which, hopefully, the citizens will, notify them as well, so as, the council, that, we're looking for land, for the Mockery building.
Okay, another question, you mentioned retail service there, and potentially post office boxes there for customers. Is there a chance the current rural post boxes would be left in place?
Once again, it won't be until we actually see the building and know what's going on before we can actually say yay or nay on what's going on. This will be my first time ever having one of these come in, so it's new to me on this aspect. V, I know you've seen them in the past and stuff. It's all going to be dependent on the size and what comes in, and then we'll approach that next step as we get to it, what'll happen with mode of delivery. Unfortunately, can't give any guarantees on that at this time.
I just find it interesting that you're back here now looking at putting a retail post office in down there after closing one that was there for how many years? And since 59 was there.
Right.
And yeah, I just find it interesting.
Perhaps it would be a good idea to call our zoning administrator.
Yes, I've been talking
You
to
have
them.
talked to
Yes.
him? Okay, because he could give you, what is required as far as size on parcels.
Yes, I have that regulation.
Yeah, he's talked with Lynn
Yes.
about this several times. I believe we do have a new zoning administrator in place now. Lynn is retired.
Okay,
We have a gentleman by the name of Larry Thompson, but you can reach him here at the same phone number, 723-3138, extension 12. But his hours are only Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 12 and 1 to 3.
9 to 12.
And 1 to 3 on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Our main concern, is that we fulfill our requirement according to our regulations, 39 CFR 241.4, and oftentimes, anytime you hear me, I'll be mentioning that federal regulation. And that is, it requires that we fulfill our requirement to the community and to the township or the city or the village, whichever it may be, to make sure that, the mail continuously, the customers continuously get their mail service, and we do it in a very diligent fashion and transparent fashion.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you know your minimum requirements as far as width and depth on this lot?
Long as it's, at least in half an acre, there's, the building itself, 700 square foot building, it will, be a little more, than what we need. And that's the reason why we're looking at least, half an acre. It could be a little less, it could be a little more.
I have a client that has a lot that's centrally located, but I don't believe it's large enough to build on, but he has adjacent lots if they're interested in rezoning.
Well,
For that
I would
purpose.
love,
I can show it to you.
I would love to talk with you about it.
It's directly across from the new Filer Township building. It's been
He's
purchased
looking
for
for
office.
files.
Oh, it's gotta be in
Yes.
49634,
Gotta be
which
right
is
in
by
the
the
city.
city.
Yeah, it's gotta be in
It
front
has
of
to
the
be in
city.
the city.
It's directly
This is
across from the
township.
building you work in. May or may not.
Is that regulation available on the internet?
Oh, yes, it is.
Any other questions?
Of course.
From the board?
I
Any
do.
other questions?
I do.
Jen?
All right, so, if it's possible, because I am relation to the person that owns the building where the post office was, and get him to sell the whole building to you, would that be a possibility?
Well, here's the thing.
Because it's already structured for the post office.
Right. Anytime the post office, close a alternate quarters, we have to go through a solicitation process, to look at various options. you know, such as, you know, what you just asked about, you know, buildings. You know, the buildings is the same as, you know, we was looking for land. We still have to look at, you know, alternate options. So while right now, you know, the approval that came down from DC has been only for land, you know, if we can't find any suitable land, then the next option is certainly, you know, go back and look at our building, you know, as an alternate quarter.
I just want to see it come back.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah,
care where
we're
it's at.
tired of running to the city.
Did anyone else have any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Sir, thank you. And thank you, council.
Okay, moving on to department and committee reports. You've got the Wake County report in your packet. Next on the agenda is the fire department report. Jim?
Well, I'm day 4 into this new position, and I want to thank the board for your support, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to be here last month. Agreed to have me as the fire chief. I had some family matters that came up that I was unable to attend, and I apologize for that. You have in front of you the report, and I'm just going to briefly go over some of the things that we've done in the last month. We've had 25 total calls for service, 20 medical calls, 3 fires, and 2 vehicle crashes. Just as a side note, both of those vehicle crashes were at the corner of 28th and 31. And that seems to be becoming a very popular spot for automobile crashes. The fires, the 3 fires that we had, one was a vehicle fire, 1 CO detector going off, and 1 power lines were down. Those were considered fire calls. And medical calls, and I know that we're keeping track of horizon points. 6 of those 20 were from horizon points. So I know that we need to keep total of what we have there. So, and what we've been doing, what we've done so far is we have scheduled the annual maintenance. You'll see some activity at the fire station today and tomorrow. They're going to do some pump testing. That's the annual truck inspection for our pump testing and that type of thing that we have to have done annually. So Frontline Services will be doing that. They were here today. They did find a couple of issues with our engine that it did not take it out of service, but some parts that need to be ordered. So he'll be ordering those parts and coming back and repairing that. We were also holding an EMS class at our station. That class has concluded. 15 students passed that class. 2 of them were from our department, so it'll give us an additional 2 medically trained personnel for our fire department. They did a very nice job. So, and with that, I will be working with Ron for the next couple of months to get acclimated a little bit to this position. I appreciate the support of the board for appointing me to this position. And I'd like to thank Ron for his many years of dedicated service to the fire department. So, and with that, one more item that would be coming up, we have a new firefighter that will be taking the firefighter test this year, and he will need to go to a driver's training course, and that course is either going to be held in Ludington or Benzie County. Cost of that course is going to be about $270. So I'll be coming for approval for that to go as soon as we get that schedule finalized. I'm not sure exactly when that will be taking place, sometime either later this month or early next month, depending on where the class is being held at. So I know the class in Ludington got delayed. The instructor had some issues there where he had to delay his class, but there is another one that's going on in Benzie that we'll be sending Mr. Rundell to. So with that, any questions for me, I'll try to answer them, the best I can for now.
One thing, Jim, last month, when Ron gave the report, he requested permission for the fire department to fill pools again. And basically, the explanation, if I remember correctly and understood correctly, was I believe that was to only be in the township.
That's correct.
Okay. And basically pools that were outside the water district.
Yes, that's the major request that we get from those folks.
And he said probably, I asked the size of the pool, he said probably approximately 1,800 to 2,000 gallons. And I did speak with our attorney in regards to that, whether there would be, because of the fact that it's public water, taxpayer water, if the fire department pays that water bill, he didn't see an issue with it. So I guess unless there's an objection from the board, maybe we ought to actually make a motion and see if we're in agreement with that or not. But I did speak with Richard. The bottom line is the payment for the water. And like I said to Ron, if we were to do this, we want a record kept, address, date of the pool filling volume, and then, of course, then reimbursement for the water.
But now, are you saying the township, we could use the township water to fill these pools, as long as the fire department paid it?
Yes.
So the fire department pays a water bill. Is the homeowner off the hook for this now, as long as the water is paid for by the bill when the fire department pays their water bill?
If I understand it, you guys would use the pumper truck?
Tanker.
I mean, the tanker truck and fill it. Of course, you'd have to fill that with
Water that you
township
pay
water.
for?
Correct.
Right. And, yeah, and then,
Then you wouldn't have.
The water that would be used would be paid for.
okay, so yeah, because
So any
you're
water,
going to
any
fill
water
it
that
at the
goes in
fire
that pool
hall.
would be paid for.
You'll be filling it at the fire hall, so it would be,
It's paid for when they pay their water bill.
okay. Okay, well, that's not what I understood Ron to say last time.
No, we won't be filling it, we'll be filling it, we fill the tanker off of a hydrant.
Okay, so then it would have to be monitored in terms of the number of
That's
gallons.
The
And
people
then
that
that would
want
be
the
a
pool
separate-
spill are gonna have to contact me, and then we're gonna have to set up an arrangement to have, because we can't, you have to have a couple of people go out and do this.
Right,
So it would be, everything would be documented as to when and who went out there and how much water was used.
right.
And then that would be, actually.
That'd be a
basically
separate bill.
Submitted would be a separate bill, and the
Right.
check would be cut to the township or the water department for that water that was used. My understanding is that the auxiliary has agreed to pay for that.
Okay.
It's good public relations, and it's also very good for training on the tanker.
And running the
The trucks need to be exercised, they need to be out and about. You'll see us on Monday nights, we'll be out pumping water, we'll be out driving the trucks. You have to run those trucks, those diesels have to be run, the brakes have to be exercised, that type of thing. So those are the types of things that this is just a public service that we can provide that helps us also.
And in an emergency, you can use that water,
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
which is a big thing.
Well, we would use it if we put it in there or not.
Right.
Privately put it in there.
That's correct.
Not if the pool's empty, you want to use it.
Well,
If
no.
the pool's full, it's good.
Yeah, and then if the pool were emptied for a fire, then they would, when you refill it for them,
Well, that shouldn't be a charge.
no, they wouldn't be.
That would not be charged
That
for
would be
it.
right.
If we use the water for our purposes, then we would not charge them to refill it.
Right,
That's correct.
right.
There's a couple of advantages to us doing this for people that have above ground pools, and that is You know, they don't burn out their well pumps, for one. The water is normally a little bit warmer, because it sits in our truck in the station. So the water's a little bit warmer, so there's 1,800 gallons of warm water getting put into that pool, rather than their well water at 50 degrees getting pumped into that pool, and then having to heat it, that type of thing. So they're starting out with some fairly warm water to begin with. So, I mean, there's benefits all the way around for us to do this.
And you're talking above ground pools.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we
I'll second.
start with that filling of the pools again.
Okay, we have a motion by Cruz, support by Cruz,
Can I ask a question before
to
you?
reinstitute the filling of above ground pools in the township by the fire department. Discussion? Question, Betty?
I have a question. When there's a fire and the township goes out and puts out the fire, is there a bill sent to the person whose fire, isn't their insurance company billed $500 for that?
No.
I don't know the answer to that.
I
Do you
think
know?
it is.
It's not.
I think it is.
It is not, that we do not send a bill to
The
anyone's
homeowner's
insurance company.
But I think most homeowners' policy pays that $500, if
There-
you ask.
There's if we submit a bill, they may or may not. I believe it's $500. But it wouldn't, if they chose not to pay it, it wouldn't behoove us to go after it.
Well, my question is, no matter if they're putting a house fire out in the fire city, fire township in the water district, or out in the fire township in the art district, it's going to cost the same amount of money. I don't believe that the fire department should be paying for filling up the swimming pools that is to the advantage of the people out in the district. I think that that should be something that should be available to everybody without this.
It makes sense, Betty, it makes sense what you're saying, but the problem is the water is a public utility, and, you know, it's supported by taxpayers, and,
Right.
You know, not every taxpayer may not
But
feel as you feel.
I think, I go way back, and everybody in the township supported the township water. Everybody. When I built my house, had I known that I was supporting the water for everybody in Oak Hill and Fire City, they would have paid for my well. Because on the ballot, this many years ago, the new ballot that came out had different wording that eliminated the people out county and out township of paying for the support of the water district in Oak Hill and Fire City. So the whole fire department thing was altogether different. But now you want the people out county or the fire department themselves to pay for water to put in the township areas by filling swimming pools. I don't think it makes sense. We all will benefit by it, and our taxes pay for the support of the fire department, and them filling up swimming pools is an advantage for the whole township, really. And I don't think that the fire department should be paying for filling up the swimming pool because they're taking water off the water district.
I appreciate your comments.
You don't understand anything I said because I didn't say it right.
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I think it's a legal matter, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, water's a commodity.
Yes.
So,
Can't be given away for free.
it can't be given away for free because, in one part, because of the bond issue that the money we got to build this new infrastructure, for instance, that tank on Red Apple. That's paid for by the water users only. It doesn't pay for you and I, by you and I, because we have a well. It's paid for Terry, he's on the water department, and Dean is in, gets water. We can't give away, we pay a water bill here.
Yes,
Everybody pays a water
right.
bill. And
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I just
that's-
think it's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I mean,
Will
we
benefit.
we are talking about a very minimal amount of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
You're like $5 to $8 or
Yeah,
something
well,
like that to fill a swimming pool. So
Yeah, if you fill a 2,000 gallon pool,
it's like
you're talking
$5.
$5.
$5.60, I think, for a
Yeah,
2,000 gallon pool. So,
yeah.
yeah, we're talking a very minimal amount of money. And again, I think the PR that we get out of that, and I think that will outweigh that $5.
Can we keep track of that for the whole summer and then just do one billing? So that
Well,
we're
I
not
think it'll be
doing
billed,
$5 at a
Yeah.
quarter after.
Make more sense.
yeah, I did be billed quarterly because now the auxiliary becomes a customer.
Thank you. I would have been better prepared had I known that this was going to come up. Sorry.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. Any other questions or comments on that? Okay. All those in favor of the motion on the floor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Jim.
The only other thing that I will be picking up where Ron left off with the fire break at the Lakeland Association property out there. I'll be working, Ron's going to help me with that. We're going to work on that, try to get that taken care of, hopefully this summer.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, item C, you've got the zoning administrator's report in your packet, and you can see that this month there's been very little activity. Item B is the planning commission. You have the minutes of the March meeting in your packet. Shirley, is there anything you want to add to those minutes?
Well, only, I'll say that we did have this presentation by the condo folks, and they went back and tried to fit everything on the one parcel that was from the 1988 permit. It doesn't look like it's going to work, so I understand they're going to be redrawing things, and the planning commission will probably be picking this up again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and Jim Tondo did come in and speak with Len last week, and it looks like they're going to continue to use parcel C as well as part of block 2, and we'll be going to move those special use permits, so,
As of right now.
yeah.
The neatest thing about this too, when we went and looked in Ludington, that's exactly about what they're gonna build. Single trailer.
Same size?
Not a single stack.
Yeah.
You mean a stack?
There'll be one stack, but it'll be almost like the one we saw in there.
Single turbine too, they have.
Yeah, single turbine.
They were originally talking more than one stack.
Yeah, they were talking 4 turbines and a stack for each turbine. Okay, item E, the board review, you have here the minutes from the organizational meeting, and then the 2 regular board of review meetings and a special board of review meeting in your packet. Item F is the PEG Commission. We still don't have a member on that commission. Rose, is there anything you want to add to that report? Okay. The DDA minutes are in your packet. Under item G, and the sewer project, things have last week to 10 days, things have picked up dramatically in terms of what's going on. Brian has submitted the specs and drawings and everything to Rural Development. Andy Grant Scott reviewed them, said everything looked good. We're probably going to be doing 2 conference calls this week, one on a right-of-way opinion. I've got to sign that. That'll be going into Blake Smith. A preliminary title opinion also, and then a rate resolution we'll be talking about. And I asked Dean to sit in on that conference call because nobody else from the committee is around or going to be available. The list, Blake's long list has gotten pared down as of yesterday. There were 8 items on there, and that's been reduced today. The sewer ordinance that we adopted back late summer, had that sent to Blake today in PDF file, so that's another one crossed off. And talking with Brian yesterday, it looks like he had 2 items he was going to wrap up this week, and then after that he said we should be able to put out for bids. So things have been, like I told the DDA at the meeting at 4:30, I've been just so frustrated with this because it's been moving at a snail's pace due to the obstacles we ran into with the easements. First of all, the family fair one, and we did finally get that resolved about 2 to 3 weeks ago. And then the easement for the lift station on the Geenan property, and that has pretty much been resolved. We've still got some environmental reviews to be done on that property concerning the possibility of a Morton's brine leak there, but it's pretty much in agreement now between our attorneys and engineer and rural development that that's not going to affect the sewer project. So we're gonna move ahead now with that. But before this board makes that purchase of that property, for liability, phase 1 and 2 environmental study done, and then possibly a DEA. So that's moving along too. So that's the quick and short of that. Under new business, item A, we have sealed bids for brush collection, and I have 3 bids here that I will open. And this is a bid from Bruce Shaw, Shaw Enterprises Tree Service, and okay, this bid states that Shaw Enterprise Tree Service will agree to remove the brush at a rate of $125 per hour per chip rig and removal team. We'll agree to perform the service with the understanding that our yearly service for the annual brush collection will not exceed a total cost of more than $10,500 for the 2017 spring brush removal. We have been always happy and excited to offer our services to the residents of this fine community. As a decorated disabled veteran of the United States Navy and a major appointed tree commissioner for the city of Manistee, I look forward to offering my company's services to our community. Okay, so that is a rate of $125 per hour per chip rig and removal team. not to exceed $10,500. And the next bid I have is from Carl's Excavating. And this bid is this is not a bid. This is a copy of the invoice. I was going to ask you to clarify that for me. Okay, this is the bid from Carl's Excavating.
So we got two bids.
So we got two bids. Yeah, I thought we had three, but we have two bids. Okay, this bid, number one, gas-powered blowers for cleanup is $3.50 per hour. Number two, pickup truck with signage to place between the chipper and traffic is $20 per hour. Third item, 14 cubic yard covered dump truck, $45 per hour. Item 4, a 20-inch chipper with self-loading grapple is $48 per hour. Item 5 is 2 operators slash laborers at $24 each, which would be $48 per hour. We will keep clean all load-up areas and roadways when done chipping. We will notify township of all abnormal sized piles of brush or debris. We will keep track of all items per hour and invoice accordingly. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call us.
Kathy, did you happen to pull last year's, did you? And what did we pay last year?
$11,650.
And if memory serves me, I think these individual rates are the same as last year.
Yes,
Is that
they're
correct?
saying that, yes.
The hourly rates
Yeah.
on the breakdown, okay, and last year's total was $11,650.
Bruce, what is the size of your chipper?
Me?
Yeah,
We have 2 different chippers.
okay.
The high volume speed chipper can chip at a rate of 10 yards per 90 minutes.
Is there a diameter on it?
It just varies from 6 to 8 inches. Everything else we haul away and remove as firewood, and we donate that to people. So it doesn't really get included in the chipping. Yeah. As a rule on the Village of Winnequa, how we do their yearly contracts, if there's anything that's over 10 to 12 inches, we choose not to chip that. We have a rig that comes in behind and they haul it away for free, and we donate it to whoever may want it. We have several names on the list we donate to the community firewood. And the secondary chipper is it's a standard flow chipper that actually feeds at its rate of RPMs. It's governed. So that one's a standard chipper. It averages about 2/3 of that yield. But the speed chipper on most of the volume projects we run with a 20-foot dump truck so we can move faster. We average 1 day for the entire village of Winnequa. We run 2 units. We can do it in a matter of 6 to 7 hours.
Scott, was it a pretty typical year last year? A little heavier or?
Well, what we get is, there's several instances where the tiles are exceeded in size times 10. We had piles where we had called the township, past supervisors and current, where some piles we get into are 40, 50 feet long, sometimes 60, 70 feet long. We've been in situations where the last day or 2 days of chipping is going back and cleaning up what we call the nuisance piles. There's been the biggest time-consuming part that we get are the large, oversized piles in the township. The other thing that we do run into a lot once we get in the Red Apple Road area, Fox Farm Road area, is we'll get where one property owner will put out 15, 18, 20 piles all down the side of the road. And those are, it's time consuming. The chipper we use is a 22-inch diameter, so we can pick up multiple piles, throw the whole piles in and chip everything all at once. But typically, we do go back, the last day, sometimes day and a half, and do the nuisance piles to clean up in the township. So, and it varies. It does vary a little bit every year.
I know we had one of those excessive ones last year with a long pile that I spoke with the owner and basically let him know that, we did him a favor by doing it last year, but we won't do it again. I don't know if either one of you guys got recommendations on how to deal with those. We published in the paper, and I don't even remember the size of the piles anymore. And like you say, some people are real good. They stack it neatly and it doesn't exceed that, and then others, it's like they cut down the forest on their land.
Well, and that's actually what happens. The biggest piles that we run into are from homeowners that aren't necessarily in a more populated area. They're more in the out township where they have 10 acres or 5 acres or 15 acres, and they clean the woods up and bring it out. There are piles that we have spent 3 and 4 hours on, and when you take a chip dump truck filled of chips, that's a lot of wood. That's a lot of brush. I mean, and that's where some of the excess time comes into play.
Yeah, as a rule of thumb, in the city of Manistee, when we have the large oversized piles, I'll go out there and either flag them or gauge them with Jeff. And we try to keep the chipping at a minimum of 20 to 45 minutes. If there's anything excessive past that, the homeowner has to either pay an additional charge or they need to have it commercially removed on their own. Because we're finding that in the tree commission, on my last, about 3 years ago, we had put in the records too that if there was any commercial tree services doing the work for the landowners, that the city was not allowed to chip the pile. That's part of their service. Because we're finding a problem when tree companies come in, remove a tree, drag it all up to the city, and now they expect all the other taxpayers to pay for that. It wasn't.
Right. And they're probably billing the homeowner the same as they would if they did the haul away or the chipping themselves.
Exactly, and then the taxpayers are paying for that, so they're double dipping basically, and and it goes the same way with our ECMA too. We had put in that ruling also.
Yeah, maybe when we submit our ad in the paper, we're going to have to be a little more specific and I guess proactive with the ad in terms of exceeding piles of that size will not be chipped, and you'll have to pay to have it done.
I seen a couple of the mountains he was talking about that he had to do last year. That's ridiculous. It's just not fair to their taxpayers.
Right.
Yeah, you can spend half a day on some of them.
Right.
And sometimes more if they're intertwined.
And that's our
I think the ad just needs to be very specific that this is what we're going to take, and anything that exceeds that, we're not taking it, and you're going to have to pay for it or clean it up yourself.
Yeah.
And if you can't say they didn't see it, because if they got the file out there, which means they saw the ad.
They knew it was coming. Yeah.
So they knew it was coming, so.
And we do run into a problem once in a while too, where they think brush removal is they can empty all their garden and there's dirt balls and stumps and things that aren't brush. So, yeah, it's pretty specific. They're here to chip your brush, not remove all your garbage from your body. Bags of leaves and.
We'll have to be, we'll definitely have to be more specific with our, I mean, we're specific in terms of the size of the piles, but I guess we'll have to address those piles that exceed that limit, how they'll be dealt with.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the bid for Carl's Excavating.
I would second that.
We have a motion by Gutowski, support by Ball to approve the bid submitted by Carl's Excavating. Any further discussion?
And I would have to say again, and I know you've heard us say this a lot, those of us that are here to hear the telephones ring, we don't get any people that are dissatisfied with the way things are left. So to me, it's worth that little extra to pay so you know we get a job well done.
And I do think Carl's, you know, I know I've seen him put salt down in the driveways at the fire department. I've heard that from Ron. I've seen you do it here. We never see a bill for those things, so those things are very much appreciated.
And I know I've asked different times for Scott to, like before the 4th, when the road into Lagoon was pretty rough, and asked him to, if he could get in there. I'll do it on my way home from work today. And, saw it was done, but I never saw a bill on it. So, yeah, that's
Not everybody has the tools
Yeah.
at our disposal.
the toy, oh, the tools.
Expensive.
Expensive toys.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if they need a repair.
Okay, any further discussion or questions? Kathy, you want to do a roll call?
Ball,
Yes.
Gutowski, yes. Steggy,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Okay, and I want to thank both of you gentlemen for submission of your bids. Appreciate it. See where we at here. Okay. Item B is consideration of approval to advertise in the local newspaper for the May brush pickup schedule. I guess before we make a motion to approve that, I would like to ask give some thought to how we want to word that specifically to address the problems we were just discussing.
Well, perhaps we could look at the ad tomorrow.
We can look at the ads that we've been placing in the past and then tweak it and see what needs to, Tammy will pull that up tomorrow, and so either call her or come in and give some input on the ad, or give it to me and I can pass it on to Tammy before she puts that ad on paper. So,
Scott, would you have any idea of a charge that we should charge if that pile exceeds?
What I would suggest is we could use the same rate as the township, because for that style chipper, that particular equipment, that is a very, very fair price on that equipment. Most times, if we come to a pile that big, like I say, I normally call, we can simply just take a couple minutes and go, okay, we can chip this far, or we can chip for a set amount of time, and then notify the homeowner, or the township can notify the homeowner and give them the opportunity to either finish up the pile, or we could come back and finish up, or they can have a third-party contractor. So it'll be a little unique, because I believe that most piles are probably going to be at the size you would put, possibly bigger, because a lot of times limbs, people aren't going to chop limbs up when they can drag them out. They might weigh 3-4 feet longer. So it's going to be a case-by-case basis as far as how to tackle the excessive size piles.
I do believe the ad limits the size that can be picked up and maybe what you want to put in the
It
ad
does.
is anything over this will be
Billed.
billed to the homeowner at the township expense. Because whatever we have to pay, we would just pass on.
And that, I guess, you know, Scott, you historically go out and do a kind of an inventory before you start, and you see those situations, you
Correct.
can let me know, and we can contact them.
Correct.
The
And
homeowner, let them
sometimes
know.
those piles pop up as the
Yeah.
brush pickup is going on. But yeah, those piles we can definitely flag and monitor and report all those.
I don't know if it's, I highly doubt it. Who's saying that it's not other people's brush all on one parcel?
And that
Who's saying
is,
that? I've never had a pile in my life.
right.
So all the other taxpayers are getting the benefit. And there's a lot of taxpayers that have never had a pile in their life. Rose, you've never had a pile. So you're, one person has a big pile, so they broke it up and threw it in my yard and threw it in Rose's yard. What's the difference? I don't see it. What's the big deal? I mean,
Well-
you're really gonna prove they're cleaning out their 10-acre, 20-acre parcel, I guess.
Right,
What
if
the-
it's a foot over, you're not gonna say anything, but if it's 20 foot over, then.
Yeah, and that's the intent of the brush pickup, at least from my understanding, is for your annual spring trimming you do of your own trees, you know, in a typical yard, like if you were to trim your trees, rather than haul that brush somewhere, you know, the township provides this service for the taxpayers, and it's not intended to be a, you know, forest removal project or anything like that, but just general residential tree trimming.
Because if you ever went around with these guys, like a lot of times we do, when Jim was out of town, I used to go, Terry's out of town, I go. A lot of times you can't believe the piles, they're going. You know, they're not coming off an orchard, my God.
All I got is blacktop in my yard from the county. That's all I have.
We know that.
Piles of blacktop.
The county loves you.
And what are the dates that you have available?
Typically, we adjust the schedule for the township. Historically, it's been in the month of May.
Okay.
Sometimes it's been to the center of May, sometimes the end, sometimes it's the first week. A lot of it has kind of determined by the weather and the notices when they would go out. So we're pretty adaptable as far as that goes. Historically, we've always kind of adjusted to a mutual time frame.
Because I've gotten a lot of phone calls,
I was like on the 4th or 5th or
probably
something.
20,
Yeah.
asking what dates they have, so.
And a lot of people want to have this stuff picked up prior to Memorial Day weekend because that's a big, it's a big deal for a lot of people, you know, as far as having everything cosmetically look good for whatever function they may or may not have going on.
It's really cost effective too, when you do offer your service and publish it, that you request that they put the butt ends out. It's time consuming when it's all wadded up, tangled into a mess. But a lot of the landowners will actually stack the pile with the butt ends out, and it moves so much faster, cuts back on your costs, and it's better on his equipment. It is a much better program if the description is to put the butts, you know, towards the road, so, of the brush.
We can add that to the ad, certainly.
That might even be in the ad.
I think it was
Yeah,
in
is
one
it?
before that I've read, yeah. I know we put it in the other, in the SBO that month.
I think we need to tweak the ad though to put a deadline on the brush must be out on the side of the road by this date.
I think we have that too.
Because I know from past.
And they always get added.
That they go through, doesn't matter where they start, they go through, Fire City, and next thing you know, the week after they're still out chipping brush on the road, but there's piles showing up down by the
Right.
city again.
Yeah, it's not cost effective to move
No,
equipment
no.
back and forth back and
Yeah.
forth.
I think that needs to be addressed also.
Yeah, good point, because
Yeah,
you set up a game, you set up a game plan based on your inventory you do before, and then all of a sudden it gets altered, and it's not cost effective.
Yes, correct.
I'm gonna work on that in the morning.
Okay.
Whatever motion that be.
I'll make a motion to approve for the advertising of the brush pickup based on the thing you're putting together in one.
And I'll support that. So we have a motion by Stiggy, supported by Walker, to advertise in the local newspaper for our May brush pickup schedule. And I think we've pretty much addressed all the things that we need in the ad. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Consideration of a bid from Mr. Natural for the Nelson Street office hardwood floors, and you have in your packet that bid. There is some a space in the one of the bedrooms that needs repairs done, new hardwood added in, and also, yeah, in the kitchen meeting room area, there's a section there, and he's addressed those two items in the bid. The wood for those two areas, $930, and the labor for doing the repairs to those two areas, $900. And then the rest of it, which consists of quite a bit of hardwood, and what were initially 3 bedrooms, and then a living room, dining room area for dustless sanding, and refinishing that with 4 coats of finish at $3,288. And a note there that the refinishes, the refinish prices are also including stain. If stain is not selected to be used, then you could deduct $411 from that bid on the sanding and finishing. However, he does note that a light stain will help the pea stain areas blend better than the natural color. So that is the bid, and I did speak with Bob about securing other bids, and he was not able to get any other bids for this project, so that is the only bid that you have to look at.
So 5118 total?
I believe that's, I added it up earlier, yeah.
And we need to pay part of that down, I know this.
Yeah, yeah, 50% down for the labor.
Labor and half of the, and the wood.
Half of the labor and all of the wood, yeah. So the $930 would have to be paid up front, and then half of the labor cost paid up front. And I think we've talked about, well, I know I've had discussions with Bob about it. Mr. Natural, Tim Tabachka does excellent work. I had him put hardwood in my house and refinish 2 hardwood bedrooms, and they came out just beautiful. We decided to have that done after we had my mother-in-law's house done, pulled carpeting out of 2 bedrooms and found hardwood floors underneath, and had them refinish those. And when we saw the results and the cost, we couldn't believe it, and so then we had it done in our house. So from personal experience, I've been very happy with the work he's done, and I know other people have mentioned the same thing. So
You know, if this, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that's my input on that.
You know if this includes the transition pieces from the tile to the wood? Or is that the carpenter's wood trim windows and all that? I'm talking where it goes from
Yeah,
tile.
right. Yeah, that's not addressed in here, and I would expect him to cover that rather than the carpenter we have doing the
Window trimming.
right. Yeah, and I can touch base with him on that.
There's quite a few locations where you're gonna have that transition.
Well, there'll be, yeah, between the kitchen and meeting room, and then the meeting room and the entryway, and then between
Back bedroom.
the back bedroom or back office space and the hallway, and between the middle office room and the hallway.
And the closets.
Um,
Yep, the front closet when you walk in on the right.
yeah, the front closet, there would be a transition piece, but not in any of the office spaces.
Okay, I'll make a motion to go with this quote of March the 16th.
I'll second.
I know we had talked about a date, March 16th, I'm not seeing that on
It's at
here.
the top,
At the top.
right underneath. the
Oh,
mosquito.
okay, that's his, yeah, okay,
Estimate of March the 16th.
yeah. Yeah, and I spoke with Bob yesterday or the day before, and I think that's a Saturday. No, that's his.
This is
The
the
date.
date.
That's the date of the bid,
This
March
is my
16th.
way of identifying.
4/16 is when he was proposing starting on that. Either 4/15 or 4/16, which is a Saturday or Sunday, but Bob said whether he'd get in there on the weekend or, if he was finished up with the job he was on, he was gonna start on that weekend, which is Easter weekend, but otherwise he'd start on Monday, 17th. So, okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Paul and support by, who supported that? Bean, Bruce, okay. Any other discussion? Okay, Shirley, Kathy, would you call the roll, please?
Witkowski, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Steggy,
Yes.
Brian Cruz,
Yes.
Dean Cruz.
Yes.
Okay, item D is consideration of approval of the planning commission's request for the township board to hire a sound study company recommended by Wade Trim to perform a baseline study at the TES plant. And basically, we're just giving the planning commission the authority to go ahead and okay that recommendation from Brian at Wade Trim. Because the idea is to get that sound study done before the May Planning Commission meeting, and if we wait till the May meeting to approve this, it's going to be pretty tight to have that happen. So, and I did speak with, I spoke with Richard about that, and he said that was fine to go about it this way, and also I spoke with Brian this morning, and he has 4 companies that he's looking at and received bids, I believe, from 2 of them, quotes from 2 of them, and he told them that he would want those quotes by Friday of this week, so he's hoping to get 2 more quotes by Friday, but he has 2 right now. And then that will be presented to the Planning Commission at their April meeting.
Do they pay for that study? Or
Is
do
this
we
the
pay
co-
for that study?
Is this the thing that we build TES?
TES will pay for that study.
That's what
Yeah,
account.
yeah, that's part of the escrow account.
That's what I thought.
I'll make a motion that we go through with the sound testing prior to the date needed.
I'll support.
Also,
Okay, motion by Brian Cruz, support by Witkowski to approve the Planning Commission's request to hire a sound study company recommended by Wade Trim to perform the baseline study at the TES plant. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item E is consideration of approval to make final payment to May Drywall for drywall work already performed at the Nelson Street office, and approval of the hiring of a replacement drywall company to finish the job. And I think everyone's aware now that the drywall finisher that we had in there, Josh May, girlfriend, is the one that was found in Manistee Lake, deceased. She was missing from Wednesday and was found on, I believe, Saturday. So he has got the job partially done, but not all done. But because she was helping him with the work in there, he said that he can't muster up to go back in there and finish it. And so he has requested. He submitted a request for payment of work completed. In the amount of $1,100. Basically, his initial bid for the project was $2,700, and he has the garage is done with the fireproof drywall and taping and priming. That's done. The rest of it, the taping has been done, and one coat of mud over the joints and the screws and so forth. I did meet with Jeff Peffley at the house on Sunday afternoon for him to take a look at it because Bob got me. Recall he was one that had submitted a bid initially for this job to see if he could finish it, and so I asked him what needed to be done yet, and basically 2 more coats of mud on the seams and the screws and that, and then the ceilings need to be done. And so I guess first thing we need to do is deal with the bill from May Drywall in the amount of $1,100. I asked Jeff to give me some idea of the work completed, what would be reasonable for that. I also called Matt Pomeroy and asked him the same question, and they both gave me kind of the same answer, that it's in the ballpark. He said, both of them kind of said that's reasonable, or maybe a couple $100 less than that. Because I don't have a clue when it comes to drywalling and that sort of thing. So
I know we went through and looked at it too.
Yeah, you both went through and saw it. So
is the garage done though, or are they going to leave it like that with the dents in the wall and screw holes not filled and all that?
It's my understanding that that's done. It's been primed. Jeff did say, if he had done that, he would have done it a little bit differently in terms of additional lighting and whatnot. But he said it's fine like it is. Aesthetically, it's not.
For somebody's house.
There's a couple corners I don't.
Yeah, that's what I noticed right away walking in that corner, going right into the kitchen there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So the garage isn't going to be touched. How about the, do we know, we don't know, but do we have an idea if Peffley's going to finish it for the remainder of the initial quote?
He called me today with a quote, and he said he would finish doing that, this 2 more coats on the joints and everything, and then the ceiling he would do, he called it knockdown texture, which doesn't mean anything to me. Maybe it does to you, but he said it's basically.
Yeah, you put the mud on thick and you take that brush up there,
Yeah.
and it looks, so you can't see the imperfections.
Yeah. So that and priming, he said, well, the ceilings he would have primer in the mud. And he said material and labor to finish the job for him would be $2,700.
Can you use the materials that we have or no?
He certainly can with what's left there, and I know
that was the bid of the entire job.
What was his
Yeah,
initial?
it was.
What was his initial bid?
His original bid, I want to say it was for something. It was quite a bit more. Yeah, I'm thinking 4,300 was his original bid. So,
Is there another person we could get a quote from?
This time we got burned, real cheap.
It's when you don't pick the best one first.
yeah. I don't know the answer to that, Shirley. You know, with Jeff, he said he would try to squeeze it in the last week of April. So that would be after all the work on the floors are done. He's got a big job right now with the April 16th deadline, he said. And I can't remember who else Bob had talked to, and I know one he couldn't even get a bid from because they got so much work lined up. The only thing, and I don't know others that do that, I did in my discussions with Sheriff O'Hagan, you know, when I had to go up there on the weekend and let him into the house and that, and then I called him later to find out, you know, if our guy was a suspect or not. You know, before I knew he wasn't gonna go back in there, I said, you know, you need to know that before I even ask him to go back in. I said, you know, and I explained the issue, you know, that we need to get.
I make a motion to just pay him the 1,100 to be done with it and get him out of our hair.
And second.
There's a motion by Staggy, support by Cruz, to pay May drywall $1,100 for the work that has been completed today. Any other discussion?
I think we just, you know, we're locked in.
Wash our hands of it and move on.
Yeah.
Want a roll call?
Yeah, why don't you do a roll call?
Brian?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Steady?
Yes.
Ball?
Yes.
Okay, and then the other portion that we need to deal with is getting that drywall work finished in there. And like I said, I did get a verbal quote today because I just had Jeff look at it on Sunday. And he called me this afternoon, actually during the DDA meeting. So I got back to him and he said that he would finish it for $2,700, which is material and labor. Now I know there was, when I was down there, I think there was 2 bags of the mud mix left.
Some more mud in the bedroom.
Was there more in it? Okay, I saw 2 sitting in the meeting room there. I know I talked with Sarah Lincoln, she said that he had picked up 6 bags. So there's probably about half of it left, which I would think would be enough to finish that. What do you think?
That'd be enough to finish it.
Duncan sees.
Did we?
Well, we can check that too.
Pardon me?
Did Josh bill that to the township?
No, Lynx is billing us for that.
I think I'd like we tell him that we retain anything that was left there is ours.
Well, yeah, it's, I mean, we're paying for that. He's not, Lynx is billing the township for that, so.
And
Yeah.
Jeff Tremblay's includes materials.
Right, so are we gonna take that back tonight?
Yeah, well, either that or, you know, I'll ask Jeff first of all what he can knock off. I don't even know what a bag of that runs. Can't be that
We
much.
can find that out.
But
Yeah,
it'd be nice if you knock that off and use the material that's there.
Yeah. I will address that with him. Any other discussion? We don't have a motion on that, do we?
I'll make a motion that you accept the bid once you request if you can use the material that's left there and knock some of that off the bill. Work out a deal on your own.
I will support that motion.
I'll second. Who's the second?
Any other discussion?
He
Terrible.
is licensed,
Excuse
correct?
me. Question?
Oh,
Oh,
He is licensed. Jeff.
How did, I think Bob explained to me that he is
He's running
working
under,
with,
David Hellman's.
yeah, Dave Helminski.
So we'll need that proof.
We will need that proof
Yeah,
of insurance.
Okay. You want to go, Kathy?
And Will Walker,
Yes.
Part of the
Dean,
Yes.
Stig,
Contingent upon insurance. Yeah.
yes.
Chowski, yes. Ryan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
And in that motion, just include in there the contract with the award contingent upon liability insurance. Okay, public comment. Any public comment? Dell, you're not going to say anything tonight?
Sun's out.
Your son's sitting by you.
Yeah. The sun is out, yes. It's out and about. Okay. Anything else coming before the board tonight? Shirley, you have anything else? Brian?
No.
Tom? Kathy?
May 4th and, or 3rd and 4th is scheduled for our pre-audit, contingent on whether we have a baby coming or otherwise it'll be the week after. And then on June 12th, 13th, and 14th will be our regular audit.
Okay. Dean?
Nothing.
Oh, question. Approval for Madison Lions Club, did we do that?
Yeah, it's consent.
So if you would let Tammy or I know if you're going, I know Shirley gave me a check for Jack, so if you want to
For
send
the
that in
MTA
for your
county.
spouse for the MTA County dinner.
So you want
On
the
May
check for
16th?
$14?
Yeah,
If your spouse is going with you.
so it's
Oh, she always goes.
on Wednesday, May 24th.
She likes that asparagus.
Let me know so that I have to reply by the 16th of May, so let me know if you're going and coming.
16th of May.
Well, that's when she needs to check by.
Let's get a hold, let's get some overtime.
What was that, what's the date, May
4th, was it?
24th, yep.
Fourth Monday, May.
Is it?
I go
Yeah,
with
May 24th. That's a 6:30 start, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have anything else. I entertain a motion for adjournment.
I so move.
I'll support.
Motion by Cruz, support by Gutowski.